definition of delightful. Two sisters move into a new house with their father in a farm town in Japan. And while they're adjusting to their new life in this new house, we start to notice some hints of mystical elements in the forest. We learn that these girls have a mom who's in the hospital. She's sick. And eventually, the kids discover these creatures in the woods that can only be seen by children. Eventually, these two sisters befriend all these creatures in the woods, and they learn a lot about life and family and nature. I've said this before, and I'll say it about every Studio Ghibli movie. Everything is kicked up to 11, technically. The animation, character designs, music, it's just perfect. And character design in this movie is especially strong. They know how to make a character likable just through their design. You can see everything that these characters are just visually, but in a way that's subtle and it doesn't feel forced. When you first meet the two sisters, Satsuki and Mei, you like them pretty much just immediately. You get to see them run around and play. Satsuki's doing cartwheels. Mei's just trying to catch up to her all the time. You can tell that they're very close as sisters, and they're both very close with their father. You can tell that the father loves them very much, and they're all just super happy to be in this one family, and you buy it. And they just have all these great little details that tell you everything you need to know about this family and make you care more about it. It also does a great job of establishing a fantastical element. You open the door to the kitchen and there's all these little black things and they all just get up and run away. And you're like, what the heck? Ease you into this fantastical world. They start out with something small and subtle, and then they lead you into like a gigantic bunny creature. Every little detail that seems a little bit fantastical builds your curiosity, and so when you get this payoff, it just works super well. The movie just takes its time. It allows itself to be this delightful family movie about these two kids growing up in this farm area in Japan. You are delighted by it. You're delighted by this family, by the mom even. It's all just such a joy to look at, and it gives you hope. There's no bad guy. There's no mean adults. No one scoffs at the idea of these fantastical elements that the kids talk about. But if you look at what's going on in the background, the way that they talk about the mom's illness, it feels a little too good to be true. Pay really close attention. You can see that the dad works hard and that he's maybe a little bit stressed. And the movie has these darker elements that are just very subtly sprinkled into the background for older audiences to pick up on. This is a family movie, not a kid's movie, a family movie, and it's a perfect family movie in that sense where it gives that little something for adults to latch onto as well. And all those adult details that we see in the background start to affect the kids towards the end of the movie. A lot of anger and sadness comes out, and it leads to this massive gut punch, which then leads into a very worrying and terrifying scene. The brilliance of this scene, just like the whole movie, is that it's subtle. They're able to make us feel all this fear and all this terror and all this worry out of just something very minimal. It's not some big scary monster, there's no loud music, there's nothing overtly scary about the scene. But because of the way we've come to care about these characters and the direction, it just makes us feel so worried and scared. The way the conflict resolves itself is satisfying and joyous and delightful. But there's still some questions left unanswered for the thinking man. This is just another masterpiece in the pantheon of Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. It's just another brilliant film. It's a great job capturing the perspective of children on real life. It has tons of lovable and memorable characters. Totoro is an iconic character. It's just a wonderful movie that wraps you up and gets you completely invested emotionally. Once again, the animation, character design, music, sound, it's all just so perfect. And My Neighbor Totoro absolutely gets an A+.